um, quote that I usually, I'm not exactly sure who the author is, but I say it quite often. I tell people I don't want every house on the block. I want one house on every block.
Okay.
Kind of goes with what Stephen was saying yesterday about I don't worry about deals that I can't get. I only worry about the deals that I can get.
Absolutely. That's a wonderful quote.
Yeah, yeah. Say that again. Now, I don't want every house on the block. I want one house on every block. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Like it.
There sure are a lot of blocks too.
Absolutely. It's enough for everybody. You just got to get in and get yours.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Anybody got any questions, deals, or subjects they want to talk about? Just chime in.
Hey, real quick,
Okay.
do you consider trailers at all? Because I have never. I always just pass them up. But,
Mobile homes, you mean?
Yes.
Not just one, but me personally, not just one, but if it's a mobile home community, I'll definitely look at that because that's another segment, oncoming segment of the affordable housing.
Okay. Yeah, because every time somebody sends me a mobile home or a modular home or anything like that, I just pass it up. I tell them no. I always look houses, pier and beam or foundation, but
Now modular now is not a mobile home. That is a single family home and it can be put on the slab and everything. It's just built in the factory and brought out, bigger pieces brought out to the site. So modular to me is the same as single family. So I'll definitely look at that. Because once it's constructed, you could never tell it was a modular home.
yeah. And usually I pass on them. I really do. I pass on trailers, pass on modular. So I've got RVs sent to me, all kinds of stuff, and I just pass on them.
Well,
But
stop passing on modular though.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We had some questions I want to answer for one of the members, Sarah, and she's on this morning about this particular deal, this case study we did in Louisiana. And let me make sure I answer all your questions, Sarah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let me see if I can pull up your email here. Yeah, here it is. Okay. You said the appraised value 148 after all repairs are completed. Yes, that's after repair value. In 148. And by the way, let me go over for anybody who hasn't seen this. The objective on this is a one pager. I like to do these for JVCs and MRLs to get the concept approved and understood by them before I give them all the details. Try to keep it as simple as possible and zero in on exactly what their role is. So this, I always put the objective up first, is get a 15% return for JVs, MRLs or better. And this goes along with line what Lisa was talking about, under promising and over delivering. Obviously we're gonna blow that out the water. It's gonna be way more than 15%. So, but this is my baseline where I try to get everybody at least 15%, actually 12. I'm good with 12 or better, but in this case, I put 15%. And then these are the typical ways we address the downside, protect the downside by spreading the risk and reverse wholesaling because it's already sold. So the JVC is protected. You can't get any safer than that. So we put the contract on the mortgage rate landlord's name or in their LLC because they're going to refinance. So we might as well go ahead and put them in title out the gate. And this was done before the hike in interest rates. So we put in the LLC and they refinance in their LLC with a non-conforming loan. Nowadays, the rates are so high, probably we're having to do a personal loan, do a conforming loan in the MRL's mortgage ready landlord's name personally, and then we'll put it in the LLC because the rates are cheaper on conforming loans, and you don't have prepayment penalties and things like that. Okay, so yes, the appraised value is 148. Purchase price was 70,000. The estimated repairs is just under 24. closing cost 9,000, and then it's $1,800 a month rent on the duplex, because that's per unit. It's a duplex. So the total investment we needed was 24,000 from a JVC. That just on this deal just happened to be guy, one of the members in Virginia. So anyway,
And, excuse me, I did have one question with that 24,000
Okay.
requirement.
mhm.
What does that cover? Does it cover like the repair estimate, or is that for
Well, it covers the,
holding?
this is what you call gap funding. So it covered a myriad of things, it may have covered it. In this case, it covered the excess, because they only funded, they didn't fund the whole thing.
Okay,
So it covered closing costs, any and even if it did cover the repairs, you still need to come up with a third, at least a third up front. And then they'll reimburse you. So 17,000, 9,000 closing costs, 8,000 for upfront rehab costs, and any other reserves, like say making payments along the way and all that kind of stuff there. So just figure we need 24,000. And so that's what it cover all that stuff that you mentioned. And that's what we call gap funding. So MRL didn't have to come to the table with any money. Deal architect didn't come to the table with any money. It was just a JVC. That's their role, to come to the table. But any excess funds needed to get this deal done, see it all the way through. That will cover, reserves for payments, closing costs, upfront rehab fees, anything that we ran into. We estimated to be 24,000.
okay.
Okay. You said how much was the original hard money loan? It was 70% of 148.5. That's what it was. So let me do my calculator. 145. It actually appraised for more. It was 153 when it's all said and done, but let me see.
I got 103.
70, 103, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, we had to put some down, and, it was LTC loan to cost and something like that. So we needed that 24,000. Then we had have a little reserve, I think we're gonna do a little extra stuff. Rehab maybe came out to be a little bit more as well. All right. So MRL gets the hard money loan to purchase the property and repair the property. Then the repairs are completed, property is leased. And then they refinance to pay the hard money loan off and the JV partner off in full when they refinance. So it took, 180 days. It actually took a little longer because we were in the middle of COVID hit and all that kind of stuff there, but it was okay. It turned out great. So the estimated cash flow was $800. And so the potential distribution for the JVC was return of principal. And, this was structured a little differently, but hey, you can structure this any kind of way. The deal architect is the one that determines how they're going to structure it. And they determine that typically up front. So everybody knows what they're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
But it could be done a bunch of ways, but this is a good way to do it right here to really attract, more people, more JVCs and more MRLs, because this is a great deal. So JVC return, they get the principal plus the cash flow. They get cash flow of $200 a month. Now, you had a question about how is the JV entitled to cash flow? Well, you as a deal architect decide what everybody's entitled to. What are you going to offer to attract them and keep them working with you? So me, this is how I structured it for these particular JVCs and this particular MRL. It may be different for someone else. I may have I probably wouldn't do this with somebody. This all they were going to do was put in 24,000 and I wouldn't see them again. But if you got a person with a larger sum that wants to work with you long term, then you want to I want to activate the wealth play and the checker, and the profit play in the deal, so I can keep them working with me long term. Because I have a 5-year plan, max, more like 2 or 3, but 5-year plan max. And, and I want to be, at my 2 comma goal. So
Okay.
I'd like for this person to be there with me and help them build their wealth along with me. So I offered this. So I decided to offer them, not that they were entitled to it or anything, but it's your decision as a deal architect. So I gave them $200 in cash flow. They were paid back. I gave them, 25% of the equity because we had 40,000 like instant equity. So they got 25% of that, and they got 25% of the risk equity moving forward, meaning they share the risk 25% and they get 25% of things like appreciation and the debt pay down, equity created through debt pay down and things like that. So with no capital at risk, because as a deal architect, I want to preserve that capital so I can keep using it over and over again. That's what I did. And I did the same thing with MRL. Neither one of them had any capital at risk. So we can keep recycling the resources over and over again and do it. It's just a beautiful deal. Not all deals come out like that. You don't have enough to, to spread like that. But when you do, you make sure everybody wins so they feel like that they want to keep going for the long run. So that's that. If that makes sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right. Now, we had another member. Anybody got any question on that? Any comments, feedback, anything else you want to cover? All right. Now, we had another member call yesterday and told me, I had just, talked to somebody about this deal they did. I mean, the strategy they use, and they used this strategy. And I was proud of them. This is experienced investor. Like I told you, just a lot more experienced people than us in the group. We just the only ones that are vocal right now. But this person bought a short-term rental. Well, didn't buy it. They used Divvy. Divvy bought it and leased it to them. Divvy is a lease to purchase program where they buy for typically owner occupants. They buy it and then they lease it out to you, and then they, and you buy it 1, 2, 3 years later. And they mark it up each year. So, this member bought the house and he used it for Airbnb. It was a brand new house. In fact, I got the pictures and everything, but we'll look at that later. Brand new house, and in the 5th Ward area, and they're going to use for Airbnb. There, I think their payment. Well, I mean, it's pretty. It's a pretty good deal. So, but it's rental arbitrage. So they use the lease purchase, a company that offers lease purchase, to buy the house, fill out their application, and everything, and Divvy bought the house and then leased it to them. And now they're going to lease it, sublease it for short-term rent, Airbnb. So that's rental arbitrage. They didn't buy it. Somebody else bought it. They got a lease contract. They say for $2,000, and they anticipate, making maybe $4,000 or $5,000 a month in short-term rental income. That's a real smooth strategy. Now, I told him that, he called me last night because, they have some real good deals in Florida, short-term rentals, and he thought what I interested in helping them pull it together. And these were $3 million houses. Now, going into a recession, I told him I'm not too keen on, I'll look at it, but I'm not too keen on short-term rentals right now. But I will admit that the Florida market, the true vacation spots, those are the ones that are more likely than others to withstand the storm of a recession. Because during a recession, some people don't vacate. So the true vacation spots, if you're going to do it, those are the ones to do it. But $3 million property, one house, $3 million on the water and things like that, great deal, great idea. But I had to point out to him again, the Wolfpack is primarily, I would say 90% made up of smaller investors. And that investment, a $3 million short-term rental for the smaller investor, is not the best, the best route and the safest route. It's okay for the big investor that wants to park money, and things like that. But the smaller guys, to me, they have, that's not the ideal, the optimal risk profile that they need to be, that the Wolfpack, most Wolfpack members need to be participating in. So therefore, I probably won't be putting deals like that together. So as you know, I like staying in affordable housing where the demand is strong and will always be strong. And, I tend to stay there, but I will look at other things depending on the situation. Does that make sense, everybody? Anybody ever heard of somebody doing a short-term rental with Divvy? No? Can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Not Divvy,
I
but
hadn't,
I hadn't heard of it, but as soon as you started going to it, I knew where that was going. I was like, I bet they doing Airbnb, and sure enough.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's interesting. It's creative, rental arbitrage. So I'm proud to hear members tell me that they're doing stuff like that. So, all right, what else we got on the plate? I think I got. Anybody got anything else they want to cover? It's Think Bigger Friday, so.
I have a
So-
question.
Huh?
I have a question. You spoke earlier about affordable housing. Can you explain what are the parameters around
Well-
what is affordable housing?
Affordable housing is probably, it's becoming more and more extinct and more, it's relative to the market though. Like in California, affordable housing may be $700,000. Here, affordable housing used to be, in the Greater Houston area used to be like 150. Now it's like 270, anything. So the prices have risen dramatically, doubled affordable housing. So, but in Alabama, affordable housing, it may be 100,000, 120, stuff like that. So different markets have what they call affordable housing, and they're usually defined by the local government because
Okay.
they provide, more definitively, they provide different down payment assistance program, and then FHA and all these programs, they define it as well. What affordable housing is and what is allowed for the funding that they're providing. And so that's kind of how that works. But the reason I say affordable housing, I like staying in affordable housing because 60% of America, 70% of America is there.
Yes.
And affordable housing market, they buy for different reasons. The psychodynamics are different, meaning all they typically care about, or primarily they care about is my monthly payment. Can I do it? Can I handle the monthly? Is it fit my my range? And can you get my down payment low enough to capture what I got in the account right now? Because if you wait 30 days, it ain't gonna be there. So can you get me in with what I got right now? And if you can do that, I'm in. I don't care what the economy is doing.
Okay.
That's the way. It's way more emotional for them. They just want to get in the house. It's a status thing. Hey, that's the American dream. I get to own my own house. It says, it expresses something to the world, for them that, that's all they want. Whereas when you step up a bit above affordable house, you got more choices, more options, and you can say, hey, I don't want to buy right now. I want to buy later because the economy is not, it tends to be more economical, built into the economics, built into psychodynamics than the affordable housing. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to sell to somebody, you want to sell to the person, to the group that's more emotional about it than others, because emotion is what the world thrives on. Everything we do is we trying to feel better. So you want to get, work towards that, market towards that emotion, if you can, to put the odds more in your favor than not. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yes.
Did that answer your question, Sarah?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. All right, anybody else?
So Eric, I have an update for you on that property that I called you about last night.
Okay, yes, the land in Dayton, okay.
Yep. So my client does want to buy it.
Mm, okay, so you have somebody
Uh,
that wants to buy and the seller, had somebody else pushing them to do on the finance. So tell us, okay, go ahead.
Right. So my buyer is VA. That house I have. Well, you came to that. I think you came to that house I have up in Humble. Anyway, it's that seller. He's
Mhm.
got to find somewhere to move to. So got on the call with Kristen lender to make sure he could do a construction loan in the VA. To do the one-time close on it.
Okay,
So it looks like that's possible. So I didn't get a chance to speak with the guy that reached out to me last night, but he and I are supposed to talk today at 8:30. So I'm gonna present it to him and see if he's interested in, just doing a one-time thing instead of doing a seller financing.
yeah, get all this cash up front.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, it'll probably be more interested in that, for sure.
yeah. So and I'm wondering, I haven't talked to him again, so I don't know how he even found that land, but I'm gonna invite him to the Wolf Pack also.
Okay.
Might be
And,
something he's interested in.
excellent. So speaking of that, you set appointment with the self-direct, the IRA representative to speak to us on the 15th.
Yes.
Okay, he'll be here at 7:30 on the 15th. So let's create some type of flyer and put that out in the Wolfpack for people can come learn about that. That's that's huge because
Mhm.
as deal architects, again, we design strategies around that type of thing. As I showed you guys a strategy, I'll bring that back another time where shucks, we can all put a self-direct IRA together right quick, put a $500,000 in and do this divvy deal like that. That's a perfect example. And then create tax-free income if it's a Roth, tax-free income like that. So it's just one of many, many ways to structure a deal, and creativity is becoming real mainstream, more and more mainstream every single day these days, and we got to get on the train.
Oh, and let me know if you all were able to open those documents. If not, shoot me your email address and I'll email them to you. But you should be able to open them from the WhatsApp.
I did. I was able to open it and I downloaded them. Okay. What else we got? We got a few more minutes, guys. It's Think Bigger Friday. Let's think big. What we got?
Oh, Steven keep lighting up. I thought he was getting ready to say something. He must have just been moving around.
I ain't gonna cookie in my mouth.
The one you turn your video off, you want to sneak a snack. You over there snack sneaking.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know. I'm going to share my screen and show. We need to get together, deal architects, and I want to show this to Kofi rather. He's on here. This is the form that I created. I did it through Microsoft. They got their forms, and then Google has their forms thing. I created this, and this is for when we're coaching deal architects, and anybody driving for dollars, and you want to help them hold themselves accountable to and track their efforts, when they're running their campaigns. And we do something like this for each and every campaign. So for this particular one, they drive for dollars, and then every day they come in and fill out these 13 questions. Take about 7 minutes according to the form. They even tell you that estimated 7 minutes to complete. And hey, today's date, how many hours did I drive for dollars? How many properties did I identify?
Okay.
How many neighbors did I talk to? So eventually, we want to, this can be done on the phone for sure. It's just like an app, but eventually we want to have our own app to do this kind of stuff. But the point is, when if I'm driving for dollars and I'm talking to my coach and I go fill this out, they get the information that on my activities every single day. It goes straight into a spreadsheet, as you know, straight into this response thing, and so we get this information, and then therefore we know what, well, the deal architect, the coach know what I've done that day. It even asked me at the bottom, and we can change this, did I meet my performance goals today? I got to fess up and say, okay, I didn't do everything I wanted to do today, or I did. And so now we know what to coach, or they know what to coach me on, and what to, inspire me to do to help me get out of my own way to do more. And so this is one of the tools that we have to create for each campaign. We'll do things like this.
Hey, Eric.
Yes.
Okay, so like something like this, for example, if we want to bring in JVCs, is there a sheet or something that we could track that with as well? Because like, let me give you an example. Yesterday I go to the bank, right? I'm at Wells Fargo. I walk in, I'm talking to the teller. We're doing our business, and she looks at a check that I presented her, and she says, "Are you a realtor?" I said, "No, absolutely not. I'm a investor." And she said, "Well, I used to be a realtor 20 years ago." From that right there, we carried a conversation for about 35 minutes. Ultimately, she has some money right now. She wants to invest. She wants to be a JVC, and she asked, "What do you pay on your return?" I said, "Well, it depends, but it could be anywhere between 10 and 30%. And her eyes lit up so big, and she was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." So, I gave her an example, and she was like, "Let me have your business card." Definitely.
See?
I was like, "Yeah."
See, you
So
holding
I
out,
was-
Stephen. You got to tell us about conversations like that.
Hey, I was saving the best for last. We're at the top
That's
of the
what I'm
hour.
talking about. Oh, good. Those are the kind of conversations you got to be ready for and come back and talk to us about, because, so to answer your question, absolutely. And that brings me to what the thing I want to talk about. We need to come up with courses to teach these campaigns, how to do them, stuff like that. So you teach about wholesaling, which will include these campaigns. You and, as I was saying, you and Rodney can maybe team up on that. Lisa and I can maybe team up on a reverse wholesaling course. And of course, yes, we will have tools for everybody to go out. And that's reverse wholesaling right there. What you're doing, you're getting JVCs, MRL, that's reverse wholesaling. When you look for properties, that's wholesaling. So yeah, we're going to not only create tools like this for each campaign, but we're going to come up with courses and challenges, and boot camps or whatever, to make sure every member gets, chooses their role and chooses their strategy and is trained on how to go out there and do it. Because ultimately, whenever that happens, all we're doing is organically creating deals for ourselves to collaborate on, organically creating leverage and capital, raising capital to get those deals done. So yes. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. And that's a great way to close out. We're at the top of the hour. Of course, you guys can, bring up anything else, but you got me excited. I like to use these to power up. I'm powered up, so I need to go out here and exude this energy to the world. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
Very informative.
All right. So, yeah, Cove, I just wanted to show you this, and we need to now start. We got certain tools we're using. This, we got email stuff. We got funnels we want to create and all that. Just want to connect everything. Booking appointments and all, connect everything, and so we all can get that back office together. So because we're setting up to start taking on new members, and of course, the more members we have, the more revenue we all make as well. All right.
I have a quick question. So
okay.
how is everybody on the team communicating throughout the day? Like on what media?
WhatsApp, and through the community where you're taking those, where you see those articles and stuff, you can use the
Mhm.
chat area in there, and we use WhatsApp too. So I mean, you said you didn't use WhatsApp, but those are the two mediums we use right now.
Okay,
All right.
all right, thank you.
And of course, yeah, you can reach out and get any of our contact information you need as well.
WhatsApp is probably better because everybody has that.
Mhm.
Yeah, you need to probably download WhatsApp and we'll add you to it, and we communicate on a regular basis. And then we even do, when we do site visits and stuff like that, we do the video FaceTime and let everybody see what we're doing
Okay,
in real time like that. All right. Okay, well, let's go out here. We still got this weekend to go and take the day, starting with today, it belongs to you. And but as always, you got to remember, you're only one conversation. Ask Steven, you're only one conversation away from your next deal. All right, you guys have a good one. We'll talk Monday.
Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Have a good one, y'all.
Hey, Eric, hit me up a little later when you get some information on that stuff.
Okay, we'll do.
All right. You guys have a good evening.
You bet, you bet. Thank you.